Hey everyone, and welcome back to the AnzenGuard podcast. I'm Michael Reynolds, and I'm really excited for today's deep dive. We're going to be tackling internet security suites.
I'm Laura Wilson, and yeah, we're going to help you figure out how to actually protect yourself online. It's kind of like we're giving you the cheat sheet for choosing the best digital armor.
I love that analogy. It's a lot more exciting than it sounds.
hmm
We're talking about going beyond just fighting viruses to tackling ransomware and phishing attacks, spyware, and even identity theft. It's a whole digital battlefield out there.
It is. Remember when antivirus was enough? Yeah, those days are gone. The threats are changing all the time, and internet security suites are kind of like that one-stop shop for digital protection.
So let's break it down. What is in this digital armor, this internet security suite?
Well, at the core, you still have your antivirus and anti-malware engine, but it's not like those old clunky programs. Today's suites use cutting-edge tech like AI to hunt down and destroy threats.
So it's like having a guard dog that can sniff out danger in a massive digital forest.
Exactly. But that's not all. You've got firewalls now too, and they've gotten seriously smart. They're not just blocking stuff coming in. They're analyzing patterns, learning your habits, and predicting attacks.
Wow. So it's not just keeping the bad guys out, it's anticipating their moves.
Yep. And then there's phishing attacks, those scams that try to steal your info. Security suites now have these anti-phishing tools that analyze websites and emails. They can warn you if something seems off.
That's so important these days with all the sophisticated phishing attempts. But even with all this security, we still need to make and remember tons of passwords.
I know it's a pain. That's where password managers come in. A good one will create super strong passwords for you and store them safely. You only need to remember one master password.
It's like a digital vault for all your keys, but with just one master key to unlock it all. No more sticky notes with passwords.
Exactly. And when we're talking about security on the go, we can't forget about VPNs. Those are really important if you use public Wi-Fi. They encrypt your connection, so it's harder for people to see what you're doing.
So it's like a secret tunnel for your data, hidden from prying eyes.
You got it. It's really important for protecting things like your banking details when you're on public Wi-Fi.
That's a must-have for sure. And I know lots of parents are worried about their kids' safety online. What about parental controls?
Parental controls are a lifesaver for families. These days, they're not just about blocking websites. They can manage screen time filter content and even give you reports on your kids' online activity. It's like having a digital chaperone helping you guide your kids safely.
So we've covered the main features of internet security, but there's even more. Tell me about these bonus tools that come with some suites.
Oh yeah, we're talking things like system tune-up tools that can help your computer run better, file shredders that delete sensitive stuff permanently, and even automatic backups that protect your data.
It's like having a team of digital assistants, making your online life easier and more secure.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so we know internet security suites are important, but how do we pick the right one with so many options?
You're right, it can be tough. But we've done the research, and based on what we've seen, three names keep coming up: Norton Bitdefender and Total AV.
Okay, those are some big names in security.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with Norton. What makes them stand out?
Well, Norton is known for being really accurate at catching malware. In some tests, they had a 100% detection rate. They combine advanced AI with a team of human experts so they can catch new threats that others might miss.
100%. That's amazing. It's like having a security system with superhuman abilities.
Exactly. And it's not just powerful, it's also easy to use. Even if you're not a tech person, you can figure it out.
Their safe web browser extension sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
It blocks every phishing site the reviewers tried. It even beat Chrome's built-in protection.
It's true. Norton's web protection is excellent. And what I like is it doesn't just block a website, it tells you why so you can make informed choices.
So it's like having an expert whispering, hey, this website might be trying to trick you. Be careful.
Exactly. Okay, let's talk about Bitdefender now. This one's good for people who like to have more control over their security settings.
So more for tech-savvy users.
Yeah, Bitdefender is super comprehensive. They have everything from ransomware protection and a safe browser for banking to tools that check for outdated software on your computer, which can be risky.
Wow. So it's like having a whole cybersecurity team looking after you.
That's a great way to think about it. And they have this cloud-based scanning technology, which is pretty cool. It's constantly analyzing threats and protecting you without slowing your computer down.
That's important. Nobody wants their computer to be slow because of security software.
Right. And because it's in the cloud, Bitdefender is always up to date with the latest threats, so you're always ahead of the game.
Okay, so we have Norton the powerhouse and Bitdefender the comprehensive one. What about Total AV? What are they known for?
Total AV is great, especially if you're new to all this internet security stuff. They're easy to use and they offer a lot for the price.
Value for money is always good. What makes them stand out in that area?
Well, their VPN is really good for one, especially for a bundled VPN. Some people have said it's even good for streaming and unblocking content from different places.
Oh, wow. So it's good for entertainment, too.
Right. They're also great for system tune-up. Their tools can clear out junk and make your computer faster. Some reviewers said they got back a whole gigabyte of space.
A whole gigabyte. That's impressive.
Mhm.
I'm always running out of space.
It's crazy how much stuff builds up over time. Total AV can help you clean it all out.
Okay, so Norton Bit Defender, Total EV, all great options. But I guess choosing the right one for you is more than just looking at those three.
Definitely. It's like choosing a superhero team.
Mhm.
They all have strengths and weaknesses. You wouldn't send Superman to fight underwater, right?
No. He'd be soaked. So how do we figure out which internet security suite is the right fit?
You need to think about what you need. Are you a family with kids who need parental controls? Do you have a small business? Or do you shop online a lot and need extra security for that? Each suite has its specialty.
So tailor your digital armor to your online life.
Exactly. And make sure the suite works with all your devices. Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, they're not all the same.
That's true. There are even some suites like Intego and McKeeper that are made just for Macs.
Yeah, and they're really good at protecting Macs. So if you use a Mac, definitely check those out.
It's like a tailor-made suit for your operating system. What about user reviews, though?
Oh, those are really helpful. Reading reviews can tell you how easy a product is to use, what the customer support is like, and even any little annoying things that you wouldn't know from the ads.
It's like getting advice from people who've actually used it and battled those digital dragons.
That's a good way to put it. And of course, budget matters too. These suites have a range of prices, so find one that you're comfortable with.
Yeah, that's true. And there are free options out there.
Yeah.
But I guess those probably have limitations.
They do. They might have basic protection, but they don't have all the advanced features that you get with the paid ones. If you want the best protection, it's worth investing in a premium suite.
It's like the difference between a flimsy shield and a suit of armor. You get what you pay for with digital protection. But that doesn't mean it has to be super expensive.
Not at all. Lots of suites have free trials or money-back guarantees, so you can try them out first. Think of it like trying on your digital armor before you buy it.
I like that. Okay, so we've talked about the features, the top contenders, and how to choose the right suite. But before we finish this deep dive, I have one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
We've talked a lot about internet security suites, but are there any other tools that you would recommend using alongside a suite, like extra protection?
That's a really good question. It's like asking a knight if they have any secret weapons besides their sword and shield. And the answer is yes.
I knew it. What are they?
Well, one thing to consider is a privacy browser. These browsers are made to protect your privacy and stop websites from tracking you. They do even more than regular browsers.
Oh, that sounds interesting. So it's like wearing a cloak of invisibility online.
Yeah, exactly. It can help you stay private online. And another thing you could think about is a more advanced password manager.
Wait, didn't we already talk about password managers?
We did. But this is like taking your password security to the next level. There are some password managers that can tell you if your passwords have been leaked in a data breach.
Oh, wow, that's important. Because even with strong passwords, those data breaches are still a problem.
Exactly. Some of these advanced password managers even have things like two-factor authentication and dark web monitoring, just to be extra safe.
So it's like having a whole security team for your passwords, keeping them protected.
Yes. So even with a good internet security suite, there are still things you can do to be even safer online.
It's like building a fortress. You
Yeah.
start with the strong base, and then you add those extra layers of protection.
That's a great analogy.
Well, this has been a really fascinating deep dive into internet security. I've learned so much.
It has been a really interesting conversation. It's so important to stay informed and be proactive online because the threats are always changing.
That's true.
Yeah,
Like training for a marathon, you have to be consistent and prepared.
exactly. And being prepared means more than just having the right tools. It's about having good digital habits, too.
Okay, what does that mean exactly? What are some good digital habits?
Well, one thing is to be careful about what information you share online. Think before you click on links or download files, especially if you don't know where they're coming from.
So be a little suspicious online.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just trust everything you see. And of course, use strong and different passwords for all your accounts.
I know we hear that all the time, but it's surprising how many people still use weak passwords, or the same one, for everything.
It's like leaving your front door unlocked. And another important thing is to keep your software updated. Those updates usually include security fixes that protect you from hackers.
So it's like going to the doctor for a checkup. You're stopping problems before they get serious.
Exactly. And keep all your apps, your browser, even your smart devices updated.
It's crazy how connected everything is now. It's like we have a whole digital world to protect.
It is. And the important thing to remember is that internet security is everyone's responsibility. Security software is important, but it works best when we're all careful and informed.
So it's like teamwork between the security software and us.
Exactly. We need
Yeah.
to work together to make the internet safer for everyone.
Well said. Laura, this has been a really great deep dive. Thanks so much for sharing your knowledge with us.
My pleasure, Michael.
And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us on the AnzenGuard podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this episode with your friends. We're here to help you stay safe in the digital world. Until next time, stay safe.
It's amazing how much digital junk can accumulate over time. Total AV can help you clean house and get your computer running like new again.
Okay, so we've got Norton with its incredible detection rate, Bitdefender, the comprehensive powerhouse, and Total AV, the value-packed option.
Yeah.
But I imagine choosing the right suite for you goes beyond just looking at the top three.
Absolutely. It's like choosing the right superhero team. Each one has its own strengths and weaknesses. You wouldn't send Superman to fight underwater, right?
Definitely not. He'd be all wet. So how do we figure out which internet security suite is our perfect match?
First, think about your specific needs and priorities. Are you a family with young children who need robust parental controls? Do you run a small business with multiple devices to protect? Or are you a heavy online shopper who wants that extra layer of security for financial transactions? Each suite has its sweet spot.
So it's really about tailoring your digital armor to your online lifestyle.
Exactly. And don't forget about compatibility. Make sure the suite you choose works seamlessly with all your devices, whether you're on Windows, Mac, Android, or iOS.
Right. Not all suites are created equal in that regard. I know there are even some specialized suites out there like Intego and a Keeper that are specifically designed for Macs.
They are. And they do a great job of addressing the unique security needs of Mac OS users. So if you're on a Mac, those are definitely worth checking out.
It's like having a tailor-made suit perfectly fitted to your operating system. But beyond the technical stuff, what about user feedback?
That's crucial. Real user reviews can give you valuable insights into a product's strengths and weaknesses. They can tell you about things like ease of use customer support, and even any quirks or annoyances that might not be obvious from the marketing materials.
It's like getting the inside scoop from people who've actually worn the armor and battled those digital dragons.
Exactly. And of course, let's be realistic, budget plays a role. These suites come in a wide range of prices, so you'll want to find one that fits your financial comfort zone.
Yeah, that's true. And while there are free options out there, they often come with limitations.
They do. They might provide basic protection, but they often lack the advanced features and robust security that premium suites offer. For truly comprehensive protection, investing in a premium suite is often worth it.
It's like the difference between a flimsy shield and a suit of impenetrable armor. You get what you pay for when it comes to digital protection, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank.
Not at all. Many of these suites offer free trials or money-back guarantees, so you can take them for a test drive before making a commitment. Think of it like a free fitting session for your digital armor.
I love that. Okay, so we've explored the essential features, learned about the top contenders, and discussed how to choose the right suite based on our individual needs. But before we wrap up this digital adventure, I have one last question.
Hit me with it.
We've focused so much on internet security suites, but are there any standalone tools that you'd recommend to supplement that protection?
Oh, that's a great question. It's like asking a knight if they have any secret weapons in addition to their sword and shield, and the answer is yes.
I knew it. Tell me more.
Well, for example, what about a dedicated privacy browser? These browsers are specifically designed to protect your privacy and prevent tracking going above and beyond what standard browsers offer.
Ooh, that sounds intriguing. So it's like having a cloak of invisibility while you browse the web.
Exactly. It can really enhance your privacy and anonymity online. And another tool to consider is a more specialized password manager.
Wait, we already talked about password managers, didn't we?
We did, but think of this as leveling up your password security. There are password managers out there that offer additional features like breach monitoring, which alerts you if any of your passwords have been compromised in a data breach.
That's a game changer. Because even with the best passwords, we're still vulnerable to those massive data breaches that seem to happen all the time.
Exactly. And some advanced password managers even offer things like two-factor authentication and dark web monitoring to add an extra layer of protection.
So it's like having a security detail for your passwords, making sure they're always safe and sound.
Exactly. The key takeaway is that even with a comprehensive internet security suite, there are always additional steps you can take to fortify your digital defenses.
It's like building a fortress. You start with a strong foundation, then add those extra layers of protection for ultimate peace of mind. Well, this has been an incredible journey into the world of internet security. It's amazing how much we've learned.
It has been a fascinating deep dive. And remember, it's not just about having the right tools. It's about using them wisely and staying informed about the ever-evolving landscape of online threats.
It feels like we've only just started to understand this whole world of internet security.
We have, and that's why it's important to keep learning and be proactive.
Yeah.
You know, the threats are always changing. So don't think of this as a one-time thing. It's more like an ongoing process.
It's like training for a marathon. You don't just show up on race day and expect to win. You need to train and be prepared.
Exactly. And part of that is having good digital habits, too.
Okay, what does that mean? What are some good digital habits?
Well, one important thing is to think about what information you share online. Don't just click on any link or download any file, especially if you don't know where it came from.
So be more careful online.
Yeah, don't trust everything you see.
Yeah.
And make sure you're using strong, different passwords for all your accounts.
Yeah, we hear that all the time. But it's amazing how many people still use the same password for everything.
Right. It's like leaving your door wide open. And another good habit is to keep all your software updated. Those updates often have security fixes that protect you from hackers.
So it's like getting regular checkups. It's about preventing problems before they happen.
Exactly. And I don't just mean your computer's operating system. Keep your apps, your web browser, even your smart devices updated.
Well, yeah. Everything is connected these days. It's a whole digital world to protect.
It is. And the important thing to remember is that internet security is everyone's responsibility. Security software is great, but it works best when we're all careful and aware.
So it's like teamwork between the security software and us.
That's right. We need to work together to make the internet a safer place.
Well said. Laura, this has been a really insightful deep dive. Thanks for talking to us today.
It was great to be here, Michael.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on the AnzenGuard podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, like, comment, and share it with your friends. We're here to help you stay safe in the digital world. Until next time, stay safe, everyone.